Mic check, mic check. All right. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Day 4 of the DPL open house. Has everyone been having a good time? Making money, right? 10 for 10 or 11 for 11 from Nate. That's pretty awesome. My record is not that good. I've had a few stop outs, so it's pretty awesome that Nate's 11 for 11 at the moment. I've still had a good week, but my day trading strategy has to factor in a few stop outs, right? But in the end, I end up profitable on the day generally because I'm taking disciplined shots, and my risk reward is almost a 2 to 1. So as I hit, I can still hit 50% accuracy and still be profitable. Normally, I'm better than 50%, but what I wanted to say was when we get days like this, as you can see here on this chart, we opened up and we've just sort of consolidated sideways. A lot of up and down, but not a lot of movement. And days like this, until we start to see some more movement, they're just not great sniper days. And learning to understand that, and it took me a long time to learn what a good sniper day looks like. And you really don't, granted, you don't know that until you get into the day a little bit. And and in the room we were playing this rollover here, right? This sniper rollover. We had a trigger here. We had our candle colors changing here. And it was moving kind of slowly. We got a little bit of a roll, but we were looking for more, and our stop was above that high right there. And as you can see, I'm going to turn off the Sniper 2.0 visual. As you can see, and hopefully some of you had your stops were not set as a hard stop in there, but as you can see, we got wicked out here. My stop was set kind of into that wick, and it just wicked me out, and then it flushed. So if you didn't stop out, this was probably a profitable trade for you. But that one got me right. And then I've been watching, and it's not really setting up for a great sniper style day. There's not a lot of continuation movement. Yesterday was a much better sniper day. But we're just kind of chopping around, and we might start to get more movement later today. But if I sort of back up and we go to a SPY chart that doesn't have a lot on it, if we sort of stay right here in this range, and we just sort of chop around, it's for me from a sniper's perspective, it's probably best to just stay out and not risk my capital until we start getting more, movement like that, right? Those are better sniper days, both up and down. Yeah, we both did volume profile sessions yesterday, and I'm happy to. Here's what I'll do is um, I can post the link to that. Did I do that in session two yesterday? I believe so, right? Because then D-Man followed right after me. Let's see, volume profile basics. Yeah, there you go. So this is a volume profile from yesterday. Whoops. You can check that video out. And then D-Man did one right after me, also talking about volume profile, but I don't have a link to that one, sorry. But you can check his YouTube. And it'll probably be, if he hasn't posted this morning's session, it'll be the most recent video. Please send what by email? C-Walk. No, there's not really indicators other than just what, within the first hour or so of the day, you can start to see chop happening. And what you'll see on other days is if you get a big movement, if you get a big move, like let's look at this SPY here, right? Generally after a large move, generally after like a large rollover like that, you're going to get some chop, right? Sometimes you'll get a yin to the yang like this, right? But once you get a big move, we talked volume profile yesterday, and we talked about, accumulation zones. What was I? Does anybody remember what I was trading during that volume profile session? I guess I can look. I think I wasn't trading. I was looking at Oracle. Let's look at Oracle. How many of you guys got into this Kava trade we set up 2 days ago? I know Nate's also trading it, so you could be in it based on that alone. But that thing's working really nice, right? And we set up our risk reward profile there. And yesterday we were looking at ORCL. And look at that. Did anybody get into Oracle based on kind of what we were talking about yesterday? If you got into Oracle when we were talking volume profile yesterday at this point of control, put a 5 in chat. Did you, Bill? Did you flip it out up here at the when we broke through? Let's do a 1272 measurement here. I mean, really, you almost hit that 1272. If that's what you were shooting for. Did you flip it out and take profits this morning on that push up? Still holding? I mean, it still looks great. And what we'll see from these kinds of things, these kinds of names, is, we'll usually get a breakout. And now what I'd be watching, right, we got a breakout of that pattern. And now we're coming back in and retesting. And I would still consider this a retest, even though we're below that line there, because it's sort of an area. It's not necessarily an exact science to see if we can get a retest and a bounce, right? If it starts to work its way back into the pattern a little further, you could kind of see maybe something like this, and then it's going to start working itself around. But we were talking about this from a volume profile perspective yesterday. And you get these accumulation and distribution zones, and that's the consolidation you get. This one here. This is the zone we were looking at yesterday. Where you've got this support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, right? And these zones of consolidation tend to happen after, a large outsized move. Right, so you see that, and then you'll see a down move and up, and you'll see some more consolidation, and then you'll see a move up, and then you'll see some more consolidation, and so that's generally how the market moves. So generally, you're going to get a bit of consolidation after an outsized move. And yesterday, right, to round that thought out, if that's not an outsized move, I don't know what is. And this too, right? You got this huge rip down and this huge rip up. The market has to figure out what fair value is going to be, right? And should we be sitting here, and is this going to move up, or are we going to move down out of this consolidation move? Or this consolidation after the move, right? And so when we're consolidating here in a tight range, those are not good sniper days. And so usually it takes me one or two trades to kind of go, oh yeah, this is a tight range day. You can kind of tell by these little fake breakouts and pulls and breakdowns and reclaims, and it's just uh, you're just gonna get wicked out if you try and play this as a sniper. Yeah, idea. I was going to talk about that today as well. And you know what I think we're putting in here is how many of you put a one in chat if you've heard of the concept of a pit bull low? A pit bull low. Okay. So the concept of a pit bull low is it tends to be like that Thursday or Friday before OPEX week, right? So OPEX week is options expiration week, which is always the third Friday of each month. Wow, can I not spell? I mean, not write well at all. It's like a child. Um, so the Thursday or Friday prior to that, you'll tend to put in either a swing high or a swing low. Usually it's a swing low. So on the Thursday, which would be today, before OPEX week, which is next week, you put in what's considered a pit bull low. Sometimes it's a pit bull. It can be a high too. It's just an extreme swing, and then the market over the course of the next week will kind of chop through that. And what I think has happened, and it doesn't always stay within that range, but I think we might have put in a pit bull low yesterday and could be putting a pit bull high in today if the market's going to chop through OPEX week, which gives a pretty huge range, right? I mean, this is a big range. You see, we have these divided into, these dotted lines are days, right? So this is Wednesday. Yikes. Could I draw any worse today, right? This will be Thursday, and then we'll have a Friday. And then what can happen, and I have a video on this that I did that shows the like Wednesday or Thursday of OPEX week, and shows how what will happen is, or what sometimes happens is, you'll get chop within that week, and you'll end up finishing kind of right around the mid area of that swing high to swing low. So this will be interesting to see what happens with this consolidation here, right? We could continue to just push out of it and move up. I think our last OPEX week, we just pushed up, right? But we've put in quite a range here. And so I think the market makers are really going to try and suck out. We've really sucked out. I mean, we blew shorts up. Anybody that was short and still short through this rally yesterday is just absolutely blown up, right? I'm surprised we didn't get a little bit more of a gap up with more shorts covering. But man, I was hoping Riley would still be Oracle, sorry, would still be in its pattern, and we could talk about that a little bit as setting up a trade. We are seeing a little bit of a pull here. I think the markets are kind of doing the same. Yeah, but see, we're just chopping around, not doing much of anything. So for any more sniper trades today, I've got one stop out, 15%. That's not a massive loss at all. I'm just going to kind of hang tight and see if we can start to get some outsized movement before I start trading those again. And what I'm doing is I'm starting to put those trades into chat as loading, as if when I'm loading and when I say loading, right, I am loading up. Let's say I'm doing SPY, right? Let's say I'm loading up the 555s, meaning I'm putting them into my active trader and I'm setting up my sniper SPX bracket trade. But when I say loading, that does not mean that I have taken the trade. It means I'm watching and I've loaded them into my active trader. Okay. And then I'll say, either triggered or fired or something like that. And I'll try to put those in all caps. But when I'm loading, that's kind of giving you an idea of which option contract I'm loading, and that I'm watching for that signal. But it means I have not put that trade on yet. And once I hit the fired, that means the trade has got on. And I'm going to start putting those into chat as frequently as I can. Sometimes they happen pretty fast. But what I want to make sure everybody understands is these are risky trades, and they're not. They're not like a 90% win rate, right? They're more like a 60 to 70% win rate. So you need to manage your risk and understand how to get in and out of those trades and what the parameters are that I'm using for that, or else these can really get away from you fast. Okay. And so if you're just taking one, then it very well could be a stop out, right? But I'm taking quick shots for that larger win. And I explained yesterday how I would be moving my stop up, right? As soon as we're in profit, 10 to 15%, I'm moving my stop up to break even to protect my trade and protect my capital. But then also to put my, as D-Man likes to say, my lizard brain at ease, right? Lemon, that's where the chat will be here in chat, or I will be verbally doing it while I'm on the mic. There's no place to track where, there's not like a trades tab for the typers for the snipers that I do. Did you do a sniper 1.0 at 950? Here? No. And the reason for that is, and this is when I started to say, okay, is this day going to be a little difficult? Because if you look at the trigger, and even if you're using let's talk about the free version, right? Our trigger happened, our MACD crossover happened here, right? And we were already extended. And our trigger from the ready aim fire happened here, and if you're waiting for the candle to close, like you should, by the time you had all of the criteria in place, this was already up to right there, right? So you had already, from this bottom, you had already missed a good chunk of that move, right? And now if this candle down here had turned yellow with a trigger, then it would have been, that's a better risk reward. So you see this, let me get a little closer because I know not all of you have a big monitor, but do you see the difference? So sometimes we'll get, yes, there was a trigger here, right? But we didn't get everything until right here. So that rule there, that wide range for a stop, had this turned, right, would have been too much, because we were asking it to get, if we took it here, and we're asking it to get way up to here for that to be the right kind of risk reward. I just didn't like how much risk there was to the downside if it turned against us by the time everything triggered, to put that into chat. And sometimes I'll take them and I won't post them in chat, which I'm going to start changing, and let let all of you that want to take these trades be the judge of whether you like the trade or not, and just kind of tell you what I'm doing. But I'm always, when I put something in, when I put one of these trades in chats, because they're so volatile, and because you have to really manage your risk, my concern is always that some people are going to follow me into it, and that's going to be a stop out trade, and they're not going to manage their risk well, and it's going to be a large loss for them, right? So in an effort to, especially during open house, help protect everyone's capital, I'm not going to put on one that has that much risk when all those things trigger. Does that make sense? You definitely could have, and this would have kind of chopped around, and it actually would have worked. But if your stop out's way down here to that swing low, that's going to be a tough one. Thomas, I did a long video, long training session on the sniper trade that goes through all of that detail, and I can put that into chat here. I believe that was Tuesday's session number 1. Here it is. Hold on just a second. I'll post that in here. Let's see, Tuesday. Sniper. Whoops. Man, I can't draw or type at the moment. I need more coffee, it would seem. Sniper DPL training. There you go. That's from earlier this week. It's an hour long. I highly recommend, like during lunch or during off hours, you can kind of go through and find. Learn all the rules for this kind of a trading. Three answers in a second. Did I answer something? Did I answer 3 things in 1 second? Or are other people answering questions for me? I mean, a lot of people in here, John, ID, bunch of other people know my strategy and are always so good at jumping in and answering questions. And I'm getting ready to actually unveil a kind of the new version of the snipers, which I'm going to call the Sniper Pro. And I'm going to do that next week sometime. And because I don't want to do that here during an open house and have a bunch of new members trying to do something brand new. So if you join us in DPL, you'll get the Sniper Pro. It's using a new indicator that I've found that works quite well. Same strategy, same general rules, same risk reward. But I've got some new indicators that I've been experimenting with that work pretty well to try and help inform these trades a little bit better. So if you take the $200 discount today and you join us, I'll launch that next week, and we can all start using that for those of you who like this sort of trading style. Yeah, Lucky. If you have, oh no, that wasn't to me. That was somebody else. If you have a small account, you can also paper trade these to learn how to do them. I mean, yeah, I do have a video on the Pitbull. Jolie, let me grab that for you if you want. You could also just go to the YouTube and you should be able to find it, but I'm happy to put it in here since I have it up at the moment. And it's easy for me to just grab. This is the Pitbull. Boy, that's an interesting question, Scepter. I think that would be pretty difficult because the SAM, I mean, most of these snipers are on a 1, 2, and 3 minute chart. But I can talk with the mods and see if that is even possible. You'd have to be watching that chat pretty tightly, or the Sam pretty tightly. But you see, I mean, I've got this chart up here, and we're just, you know, we're getting a lot of false signals. We're not really going anywhere at the moment. When we do get a signal, it's just not a great day. Like even here, right? When we got this push up, when we finally got a signal again, this is just another, sometimes the day is not quite right. Right? When we finally got a confirmed signal, and if I look at the free, right, we were over bought there, right? And we got our cross there. So by that time, right, this candle was closing here, and our stop would have been there. It would have worked, but more on a one-to-one basis, right? More of a one-to-one risk reward, and the risk was just too. It was too much at that point. This one was better because we could take the trade like here, and our risk was much tighter. So sometimes it's just so choppy that the signals just are not working out. Sorry, I'll stop talking about that since it seems pretty. I've belabored that. Let me catch up on chat here. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me? I just had this 30-minute session. Ooh, forward looking great. Is that coming into a level that we could pick it up? I know Nate's on this and looking for a place to enter. Got a level there. That'd be a great level right there. And I would love to see that come down into 3302. That would be great. How's Cabot doing? Great. How's PLTR? PLTR also pushing. I like that one. I was staring at MDT this morning. It's just got to get over this level here. But it's kind of in and around a good risk reward spot, I think. I kind of like MDT here. Let's see, we would be on the, what do we have? I'd probably buy 3 weeks out. Well, wouldn't exactly be 3 weeks out. It would be MDT. The September 27th. And probably get the $90 September 27th on MDT. And then you could even play a, stop at this swing low here. Let's see. All right, so if we got in here-ish, or maybe a little bit lower, and we're looking for a push to the high, 3-to-1 risk reward, that's not bad. I like that. looking at the 927. What did I say? 927. $90 calls. I don't know, for about 110. No, for about 112. I like that trade a lot. I think Nate's also in this one, right? Mr. Bear is in that one. Yeah, I thought so. Man, cost made a massive move yesterday. That was great. And we had eBay on our watch, and that thing just said, "Thank you. I'm out of here." I missed that one. And CI, this one I keep coming back to. We were looking at this one yesterday for a potential breakout, and we broke down. But now we're right back up here into this resistance level. And I'm just trying to decide if I think it wants to push through or break back down again into this pattern. I mean, as you can see, this is some serious resistance up here. I could make an argument for taking this short down, back down into 350. With a really tight stop if it breaks up into that, into this area above. Doc, you got filled on MDT. Well done. And remember, the reason this is a good area to take a shot is because we've set up a decent risk reward, right? So make sure you know where your stop out level is, and how much you're willing to risk within that. Yeah, poor boy. I have a video on how to set up your charts from scratch on. What do you need that? Do you want it on TOS? Okay, so here I'll grab these two before I jump off, and I'll just post them in, and then you guys can watch them whenever. What I need to do is I say this every time is I need to make a list of frequently asked questions and videos that answer those questions. But let's see here. Setting up TradingView charts is right here. Happy place. Hold on. So if you want to set up charts for TradingView, chart setup tutorial. Again, I need more coffee. That's TradingView, and then there is also, and then this is building. And this is TPS charts, chart setup for TOS. Billy Boy, the win-loss ratios for, like, do you mean this for this particular trade in MDT, or are you talking about if I'm looking at, win losses of trades? Like, I have, 8 wins to 3 losses. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about this box here where I get my risk reward ratio for a certain trade? Karen, if you watch the TradingView chart setup tutorial, it shows you how to do this. I mean, the quick and dirty version is if you star a time frame in that pull down menu, it puts it up here, right? And if you don't have some of these odd ones like 40, like 65 minutes, 78, 130, 195, you can create them. I need a shorter window here. You can create them at the bottom. It's not coming up, but there's a spot to add a custom interval. It's up the top now. They moved it. And then you can make a 78 minute, 130, 135, and then once you star it, that puts it up here. But if you watch that video on how to set up your trading view, you'll be able to see all that stuff. And when I come back on a little later this afternoon, I'm going to pick a chart, because I'm on for another half hour again. I'm going to pick a chart and we're going to set up a trade plan like we did here on that chart so that we can practice that skill and learn it. So if anybody has any ideas, I think I'm back on at 2. Is that right? Maybe 2. And so we'll do that session. But yeah, no actual trades at the moment for this session for me, just because it's not a good sniper environment. So I'm sorry there wasn't a live trade for us to do together. But if you join up for next week and take advantage of that $200 off, we'll have tons of these every day. There tend to be about 7 or 8. Well, six to 5 to 7 of them a day. So on average, except on days where we're just going sideways. So there's no shortage of these sniper trades, and practicing and learning and finding out what works best for you just takes some time. Okay, so we are on lunch break. I believe until 1 o'clock. Yeah, lunch break until 1. I am going to. Yeah, Bruce, you're right. We did do MDT. I meant no sniper trades, but we did do MDT. But Nate was already in that on his own trade, Nate Bear. So this is just a trade idea from right now on MDT. And we've given ourselves a little bit of time on this 927, right? I mean, this could happen in the next day or two, but it's nice to give yourself a little bit of time. But here's a word of advice, don't use that time as a comfort to let the trade go past where your stop out level is, right? I placed mine here, but you can place yours at a different spot if you want. That's sort of the art of this, right? But a lot of times, for those, you hear me talk about trades that break down, and then we get into our hope, right? And we're trading on hope. It's easier to have hope when you have more time, because you feel like, oh, I've got a week and a half for this to come back. But like I was saying yesterday, discipline is everything, and you're going to be a lot better off in the long run if you learn to honor your trade plan, even though maybe you're taking more losses than you are winners. If you're honoring your trade plan, you're still going to be profitable, or at the very least break even until you refine your trade planning skills. Because your winners should always be 2 or 3 reward to 1 risk. So that would be my little final note there. All right, everyone, we are on lunch break. Nate's screen will be up. I will see you all back at 2 o'clock. And take that time to go get something to eat and stretch and clear your head, because I know it's like drinking through a fire hose, all the information that's being thrown at you. So I will talk to you all a little bit later.